What's going on, everybody? Today's session of Method Monday is going to be about bunching. When I'm talking about bunching, it's in reference to a traditional pocket, much like the one that is in this Woody that I had Shane Whittle string up for me and refurbish. But what I mean by bunching is when the leathers in between your interlocks start to just kind of bend and twist, and pretty much exactly what the word means is the bunch, is where the leathers in between your interlocks just squeeze together. And usually this happens because the strings are too tight, but there's still too much leather in the area of where you want the pocket. So when you actually try to make your pocket, there is obviously going to have your four leathers, or how many ever runners that you're going to have, and then you have your cross lace. When you're going through and stringing and whatnot, you actually want to pull your leathers a little bit tighter as you're stringing. Once you actually get your shape and everything like that, pull your leathers maybe 1/8 of an inch through your bottom holes, and it should usually straighten anything like that out. But I mean, sometimes that's just the nature of the beast, and you're going to get bunching whether or not you like it. And when that happens, you have to go back through and realize what you've done and how to fix it. Now, usually, uh, this happens with symmetrical pockets more often than not, in my opinion, that I see, because, again, you don't make the leathers even or anything like that, but pretty much what you want to do to combat that is leave a bit of space at the bottom, whether it's a symmetrical pocket or an asymmetrical like this. You want to leave this little bit of room between that bottom knot, any bottom knot, no matter what you're stringing, your bottom knot and the bottom of the head, wherever your leathers are actually going through. So I've already pretty much negated the bunching that was going on in this. So it more or less is going to be where it needs to be. I might tighten the center ones as I'm going along, as it breaks in a little more. And that's the thing. This kind of ties into maintenance, which I'm going to be doing another video, which will probably be the next one or the one after for Method Monday. But let's just stick to it this time, where you want to leave a little bit of space, maybe about a 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch between those two. You want to leave about that much once you feel that you've found your pocket, once you feel you found all the sweet spots and everything like that. Have that knot 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch from the bottom. And then as you're breaking it in, as you're pounding out the pocket, and so on and so forth, when you're actually throwing with it during the break-in process, there's a difference between bunching and actually the pocket shifting. That's what the thing that a lot of people don't realize, is that there's a slight difference where the pocket's formed in this, correct? Pocket's formed, and then when I have the ball in it, and then I go to shoot or pass or whatever, the ball will shift up. And when that happens, when the ball actually shifts up into the pocket, people think that that's bunching. That is not bunching. That is not bunching. That's the pocket shifting. And sometimes you'll get exactly what's happening here. It's a little curved, a little off. But that's because of the pocket shifting. That's because most people try to have their pockets strung exactly where they want the pocket to sit. And so when it shifts out of that, it looks like the leathers are bunching, like right here. It's not bunching. That's mainly because of the shifting. So as soon as it goes back to normal, the leathers are normal looking, right? Well, that's because I strung the pocket to sit solid mid. When it shifts high, it appears that the leathers are bunching. They're not. They're just shifting to accommodate the ball and then also create the release that I wanted to do. So whenever you're stringing up your traditionals, pay attention to that. When they're sitting where you want them to, like when they're sitting in their mid or their low or their high position, if the leathers are looking crooked, even though the strings look very straight, very, I guess you could say, taut or tight, whenever the strings look that way and the leathers still look like they're bending up or scrunching up, or in this case bunching, you want to pull. That's when you realize that you need to pull the leathers a little tighter. That's why you don't want to, when you actually go through and do the initial stringing, do not string all the way down against the bottom. Unless you're like Greg Rose from Zenlax, who actually has a process where he actually ties his knot through leathers and so on at the bottom to where there's not actually a knot like this, like my transition knot. There's actually not a transition knot on his traditionals where you can work the string through and so on, and you can tighten the leathers as much as you need to and so on. But that's not the style that I do. This is how I do it, and hopefully this kind of enlightens you guys just a little bit about just part of the maintenance, part of the break-in process when it comes to traditionals. And the thing is, like, it'll happen. It happens to traditionals. It's okay if it happens. It may not look that great, but it happens. Especially if you're pretty new to traditional stringing. Trust me, it happened a lot when I was starting off stringing. I was just like, what is wrong? What is going on with this pocket? And then I realized, just tighten the leathers a little bit. Pull them down a little bit. Leave a little space in between that bottom knot and the plastic, and everything's going to work out. So just another little thing that you guys can pay attention to. That's really all I got for today's Method Monday. That's bunching. We'll get into some more basic things to help you guys learn and make yourself a better stringer. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you later.